I believe it's important to teach your dog how to happily be confined, whether that's in a crate, X-pen, even in another room from you that is puppy-proof if you have a young dog. But not all dogs really enjoy being crated. They struggle with it. They stress about it. And if your dog doesn't have true separation anxiety, they just don't like confinement, or maybe you adopted a dog that had never been crated or maybe never been taught properly, then this is the video for you, because this is going to help you and your dog learn step by step how to break down the crate, literally and figuratively, to get them to enjoy being crated. I'm Paula with Canine Country Academy. We create videos to help you get the tools and the skills to have a well-mannered dog while building the relationship you both deserve. I originally created this tutorial video for one of our amazing clients who adopted a dog who was really struggling being confined. And I'm gonna feature him here in this video as well. But I'm gonna show you step by step how to accomplish this. The timetable it's going to take for you is going to vary based on how often you practice and how severe your dog is with regards to not liking the crate. I call these guys the crate haters. So we're gonna help your crate hater have a better experience. What you're gonna do literally is take the crate apart. So if you have a soft shell crate, you're literally gonna take it apart. If you have a metal crate, you're gonna pull the bottom piece out of it, the pan, and work from there. So we're going to thin slice and take little bitty baby steps to build up that interest into getting in the crate. If your dog is worried about the Crepe Pan or any part of the crate, you can always start with a dog bed or a mat. I tend to use a more comfy dog bed if the dog just really does not like being crated, because at least they're gonna be comfortable, and then I can slowly transition that into the next level of the crate, whether that's the Crepe Pan or maybe just part of this plastic crate. I've taken the crate apart, the plastic crate that is, and I took all of the bedding out of it, pretending that this dog does not like going into the crate. So all I'm gonna do is any interaction with this is gonna get him a yes, or if your dog likes a clicker, you can use a clicker. And it's similar to teaching place in the sense that we're just saying, go to this designated location. I know. And hang out in there until I release you. Yes, good boy. All right, so I'm gonna focus on the training with him. I'm gonna face it. I might be low, I might be in a chair if that's more comfortable. And any movement, okay, thank you. Any movement towards it, I'm gonna reward him. I might even toss it away. Yes, good boy. Toss it away for him to reset and come back. I'm gonna look at the bottom of the crate. He's a little frustrated. Yes, I could lure it, but some dogs might find that offensive and be like, you're trying to put me in, yes, good boy. Trying to put me into that device that I don't wanna be in. So I'm just playing, yes, I'm playing the sounds like game. It sounds like this thing here is what I want you to interact with. Yes. And he's gonna progress much quickly maybe than your dog. Yes. Even if your dog like hops in it or does something funny, that's okay as long as it has something to do with the crate. Yes, good boy. Yes. Nice. Yes, good boy, you're so smart. Yes, good job. Okay. So I'm not forcing him, I'm just trying to get him to have a good time with it. Yes, and create a lot of positive association with it. Yes, and then he becomes a thinking dog versus me just telling him what to do. Yes, very good job. You're so smart. Yes, and then you're gonna look for maybe a little more. It might not be a little more each time. You don't wanna always make it harder or more difficult. Yes, good boy. I want to make it so easy that the dog's like, what? Now I got some frustration. Yes, good boy. I want to keep the rate, yes, good boy, yes, so smart. The rate of reinforcement really high. I'm going to jackpot that because he made a big step. So a jackpot reward is going to be multiple tiny treats. Get that one right there. Yes, and it should almost look like paint drying. It should be that boring because the dog should just be progressively working out the problem. I know, it's a problem. good job. You're so smart. Yes, good boy. So I'm gonna start rewarding him within the space he's in. So if he's got a foot in there, I'm gonna reward it in there so he's in there longer. Yes, good boy. And he has the choice, yes, good boy. He has the choice to get out of it. Yes, very good boy. Nice job, Panzer. Good. By giving him that choice to get out, he doesn't normally get into this crate this way. It's weird to him. Normally his bed's in here and the top is on. So for him, it's a little different. He's gonna take a little break here. Got a dead bug? Good job. Yes, I'll take that. So he's, taking a step back, that's fine. Yes, good boy. He says, I like being a winner. Yes, good job. Very good. Here's something outside. What a good boy. Yes, good boy. So he did some thinking. Probably heard some stuff outside. Yes, very good. And it's a little slick. So for him, he's like, oh, I don't really like that texture. So you can always put a towel, yes, or a mat. I just don't want to have something in there that maybe they find offensive. Yes. And then they'll think, oh, my dog bed is now icky. Good boy, you're so smart. Very good. But again, it's his choice if he wants to turn around and get out. Good boy. So you're on great, good job, go get him. So once your dog is feeling comfortable with it, then you can progress to the next step. So what does it look like when they feel comfortable? I want my dog to be relaxed. I want them to go in rather quickly. I want them not to want to come out of it. And then I know I can progress to the next step. The next step, good boy. The next step for you might be putting the top on or putting a dog bed in. One of those two things if you're using this hard plastic. Oh, is that Skelly? The hard plastic crate. I would also make it so that he cannot get into this when we're not working. So now I'm letting him do it a little bit, but he's not worried about it. That way they're not getting in there and then not getting reinforced for it at this stage of the game. We really want to be there to reinforce it, and that way if anything scary happens, we're also there to support them through that. So let me show you the next step. For him, I'm going to add in the dog bed. We're going to work on that a little bit. Going to look for more relaxation, more comfort, not wanting to leave, no anxiety there. And then I'll progress to putting the lid on, but no door. So now that I have the dog bed in here, I'm gonna actually reinforce anything that's like laying down or being seated. Yes. So if I was starting a new session, I would just take smaller steps, like physically getting in it. Yes, good job. I could even make it breakfast in bed as long as the dog knows the food is coming from the bed. Yes. And place it in the bed so they can get it. So now the bed is creating the food. Yes. And as long as your dog maintains being in there or getting back in there, that's where I'm going to reward. Yes, very good job. If they get in and out, it could be because they're uncomfortable, you've gone to a step that's too high, or they're just confused as to what you're rewarding. Yes, so just maintaining being in there and being chill, I'm gonna accept that. For demonstration purposes, I'm gonna wait till he offers a sit or a down this next time. That's nice. So he's asking questions. Yes, and I'm not prompting it, I'm letting him figure it out. The more you let him figure it out, the better. So for this next step, I'm going to switch up dogs, and I'm gonna use Norby here. And as you can see, he's already going to the next step. Yes, is I want the dog to get in on the dog bed and then offer me a sit or a down. They still have the choice to get out. Norby. Good boy, this way, honey. Norby. Yes, good boy. And this crate is smaller than he would normally use. Yes, good boy. So I'm just gonna look for more duration, more calmness, hanging out in there longer. Really difficult to get them to leave. Okay, you can do little free cues to tell them they can get out. Yes, good boy. But I want that willingness, that they're willing to pop back in there, and that tells me that he's ready for the next level, which is going to be putting the crate top on. So let me show you that. For the next step, I've got the top of the Crepe Pan on, but no door. So there's no chance I can accidentally close the door on the dog. Good boy. I have it all secured. Yes. This is a crate that is way too small for him, but he's just doing it as a demo, and he doesn't mind. Yes, good boy. And so ideally what I want is the dog is getting all the way in, feet and everything, yes. And that they're offering a sit or a down, whatever's comfortable. Yes, and at this point I'm still just marking offered behavior. It might be easier if I was facing the kennel versus being on the side, yes. And I can show him, hey, I'm gonna give it to you on the side here. If that's difficult, you can also, yes, you could have like a little wooden dowel or something and stick in with a little cream cheese or peanut butter smear for them to enjoy. Yes, good boy. And eventually you want to see calmer behaviors. He's pretty activated right now. Not from fear, just because he wants to work. I'm gonna shake it off a little bit. Oh, too much adrenaline. Yes, good boy. And you see how he's really driving into the kennel? Your dog might not look like that, but I want them to feel more willing to get in. Yes, good boy, nice work. And he always has the choice to come out. Good job. So I'm gonna turn it so it's a little easier for him. Yes, good boy. And I can also reward the kennel itself or the dog bed. So it's like breakfast in bed. So only his little toenail is sticking out right now. Good boy. But you don't wanna have the door on at all, yes, because we don't want it slamming them. When we're ready to put the gate back on or the door, what you can do is bungee cord it to the kennel so that way it's on there, but it cannot close even if your dog runs in there. We really want to be the one who closes it and then break it down for the dog that we're going to touch the door and feed. We're going to touch the door and move it and feed. And the dog always has the choice to come out. Because one of the challenges with dogs who do not like to be kennelled is they are having no choice. They're stuck, and that can make them very upset. Some dogs just never are good at kenneling, but it's a good skill to work on because at some point in their life, they might have to be in a kennel of some sort. Good boy. Very nice. Very good. Okay, that's very good. And then he gets a free cue, and then he might go off and do something for a little while, and then he'll zoom back into the kennel when he's ready to work more. Now I have the door back on, and I have it so that it cannot close. Okay, are we ready? And I'm gonna just wait till the dog, yes, goes into the kennel. I'm gonna reward him in the kennel. Good boy. No cues or anything, just letting him offer it, yes. Telling how much I like it. So now the dog sees that there's a door, yes, but it's not going to close, okay? So this is just a string. You could use a bungee cord, yes. And if he says it makes him uncomfortable, then what's great about this, you guys can always go back a step or two and then reinforce that, build that back up, and then shift so that you go to the next level. Yes, no harm in it. So when I'm ready to start working on the door itself, yes, good boy, is all I'm gonna do, and I would be on the other side, but I'm doing it from this side for your vantage point. I'm gonna touch the door, yes, and I'm not gonna move it. So I'm gonna leave it where it's attached, it cannot close, so I don't do anything that's gonna be scary. Yes, and I'm saying yes after I've touched the door and he's maintained himself inside of the kennel. So I'm touching the door, yes. Yes, and if the dog isn't worried by that, then you know, good boy. Then you know you can start progressing to the point that you can start moving the door a bit. Yes. All right, good job, honey. So what I would do is I would reset the dog, let him go off and do something. I'm gonna change this so that it's not attached. Good boy. Good. So now I'm holding it so it doesn't go closed. He offered to go in. Good boy, you're so smart. And then I'm just gonna move it. Yes. And again, if he pushes past it and says, I need out of here, he's gonna get out. Yes. Yes. So I'm just asking little questions like, how do you feel if I close it this far? Yes. Very good boy. Very nice. And then progressively, you're gonna get to the point, watch your feet. It's closed. You might bang it a little bit. Yes. And then feed. And then they, of course, can come out. Good boy. Then jiggling this. So just look at it as a big picture and slice it down into itty bitty steps, making sure the dog is comfortable 100% of the way. Once you're getting that the dog is closed in here, anytime they're in here and you're training with them and they are fussy, you can let them out. You don't want to reinforce fussy, but look for a little bit of calmness too. So if they're like, oh, I kind of don't like it. You're like, good job. Okay, I'm going to let you out. I want them to have that power. If you're struggling, your dog already has some anxiety around it, so we don't want to build on that. If your dog's just a little bit fussy, that's different. That's not the anxiety. Then you can let them cry a little bit and then feed them at that moment. But you've got to break it down into tiny steps. So let me show you what to do if you're using a metal cage and how you can break that down with a Crepe Pan. Now what we're going to do, if you're using a metal or wire cage, is how to use the Crepe Pan to start happily crating. So what you're going to do is just get the pan out. Good boy. Separate it from the crate down. And you're just going to have it out, and you can have a towel or a bath mat in here. Yes. And then any interaction with that pan, yes, equals a yes or a click and a treat. I'm going to send him off. Yes. And he already knows this, so he looks really easy, but even looking at it would count. Okay. So now I'm going to wait for him. Oops, yes, he was too fast. I'm going to wait for him to offer a sit or a down. I'm going to change the position so it's easier for him. Yes, I'll take that. Yes, so he's asking questions. I love a dog who asks questions. Oh, your brother's barking. Yes, good boy. Yes. 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 So I'm trying not to get the scratching. Yes. Oh, very good boy. You're so smart. Very nice. I'm going to jackpot that because I really liked it. Yes, what a good boy. Very nice. And I'm feeding the Crepe Pan. So once I see this is really going well, the dog is enjoying it, they like getting on their Crepe Pan. Again, you can put a bath mat or a towel or even their dog bed if you want. Then I'm going to put their dog bed on it as my next level. Good boy. So that way the dog's like, oh, the Crepe Pan with the dog bed is really cool. And once that goes well, I'm going to put it all together with the crate, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Good boy. Okay. We're going to fast forward as if your dog is great with the Crepe Pan and great with the Crepe Pan and a bed. Now we progress to all of that being inside the kennel. Notice I've opened up both doors. If you have the luxury of having multiple doors on your wire kennel, good boy, then I would open them both so the dog feels like I can get out of here if necessary. And then I'm gonna break down my door shutting process. If you feel like the kennel doors might shut accidentally, then just tether them in some way that there's no way that they can be closed. So use some rope or a bungee cord so that they cannot be shut. Good boy. And then you're just gonna reward any getting in the kennel, relaxing in the kennel. Okay. And make sure to give them breaks so they can come out of it. Yes. And then if you're not supervising them, make sure they can't just get in it because I don't want something scary to happen. Yes. And I don't want them going in there and not getting a reward. Okay. So this is something Norby has worked on very hard. Good boy. So you can see there's no issue getting in. This is what you're looking for. This is your goal. That dog's like, cool, I can do this. No big deal. So how I'm gonna break down the doors is just like I did with the soft crate, or I should say, just how I did with the plastic crate, is I'm just gonna touch a door. Yes, and he's just curious if I have snacks. Hear him sniffing. Yes, I'm like, this is different. And then I would progressively close it a little. Yes, he's like, whatever, do your thing, you're weird. And then I'll progressively close it, but not lock it. Yes. So I'm going in big leaps here. You might need to go much slower. Your dog is always gonna tell you how they're feeling about it. Okay, good job. So he's willingly going in. He's like, yes, let's play the game. But if he wanted to, he could push this open and then he could escape if he wanted to. I want him to know he has that option, but he doesn't need to because we're gonna make sure he's having a good time. Good boy. All right, so we're gonna say that the one door is really good and closed. He's comfortable with that. Now I'm gonna progress to the next door. Good boy. So if I just touch it, he's like, yeah, whatever. Yes, nice. He's just like, where's my next cookie? And I'm gonna feed the bed, not his face. Yes, very nice. So you can see he's kind of puffed up a little bit, like, I don't know if I like this. Get it? If you've watched Crate Games, there's a DVD, or maybe you download it now. You can feed towards the back of the kennel so he's not hanging out. Yes, good boy. You're so smart. Yes, good job. He's looking for more snacks. Good job. And I'm just gonna progressively get to the point that it can just be shut for a little while. My hand's on it. Great, and he was kind of distracted there. Good boy. And then I'm just gonna keep working on that so the dog learns, oh, when they close it, it's no big deal. It's a whole other ball of wax, leaving them in a kennel. This is just how you get started, teaching them that the kennel is a pleasurable place to be. It's very reinforcing, and it's like another skill to teach them so that they can have fun getting in a kennel. If you want to keep learning about ways to help your dog, make sure to subscribe to our channel. And we also offer a lot of online opportunities for you to learn things like tricks, manners, impulse control, working on any kind of behavioral issues like reactivity, separation anxiety. We have quite a bit of things to offer you. And in addition, I want you to know that we are also offering free 30-minute online classes here on our channel. So check out our schedule to see what the next topic is so that you can get training for free here on YouTube.